What's up, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a full point of view look at the 2023 Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek Edition. It's a pretty cool rugged version of the all-new Pathfinder. So let's go ahead, pop the hood, see what we got to power this SUV. So underneath the hood, we're going to have the same 3.5 liter V6. However, this one is tuned up slightly with about 10 more horsepower and torque from the standard trim. We have 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. Still paired to the 9-speed automatic transmission, and of course this does have a 4-wheel drive transfer case, so you get the full 4-wheel drive. But if we check out the exterior, I love these headlights. They have a really cool DRL in the top area, and then it's kind of all blacked out for the housing. Just hitting the lock and unlock, you can just see that halogen bulb down here, but I love the LED up in the top. So pretty cool design, all gloss black on the grille, the new Nissan logo, and I like the silver cuts up here. It's kind of a cool rugged look, gloss black within the grille as well as a forward facing camera. And then being the Rock Creek, of course, the rugged design, we get a full plastic front bumper. So all this is just the black plastic, which of course it's not gonna get as damaged as if it were paint. And then down below that, we do get LED fog lights, all this silver trim, and then grille shutters down below to improve efficiency when needed. And then if we continue over to the side profile, you can see how the fender liners and fender arches are all made of that same plastic material to give it a rugged look. And I love these 18-inch wheels, super sweet looking, gloss black. And then this machine design, it kind of looks like it's a beadlock wheels, which is pretty cool. We got a set of Toyo off-road tires, off-road tuned suspension. Then of course you get that Rock Creek logo, and then more of this plastic trim all underneath. So this is a pretty rugged looking SUV, as you can tell with just the design of it. And then I love this color, looks super sweet. We got the two-tone with all this gloss black, and we even get side view cameras as well as the LED turn signal. And then up on top, we get a really nice roof rail system, roof racks and everything, which are super functional. You can even see they say 220 pounds on them. So you can put some decent items up on the roof of this. I like how it kind of looks like a floating roof with the body color down below it. And this has a little bit better ground clearance, maybe about 1 inch, comparing it to a Platinum Edition. So it has that rugged aspect. You can see all that gloss black. Fenders and back are pretty wide as well to give it that wider appearance. And then we get the LED taillights, which all are connected with this gloss black area. You can see Pathfinder as well as Rock Creek and 4-wheel drive. Pretty cool looking back here. And once again, we have a full plastic rear bumper. We do get our towing system, and this can tow around 6,000 pounds. And then back here, we have an electronic button as well as a lock button. Just doing that, we can go ahead and lift this up and check out the cargo area. So in back, we can pull up the floor, and we have a lot of hidden storage, which is a really good touch. And then with the third row up, you still get a pretty good amount of storage space. And I like how if these headrests are up, it's really easy to then pull them back down. So then from here, we can just grab these levers and push the seats manually down. And this is how much space you get. It's pretty roomy in here, pretty practical with the third row up or down. So it's nice to see that amount of space. And then if we go through these side doors now, I can just grab these levers and pull these nice and down. So we get a pretty flat area all into the back, as you can see. And it really is a pretty practical SUV. As you can see, you got a lot of space all the way up to the backs of those front seats. From there, we have a grab handle on the right side, and we can just close that up. But then at the rear end, the rear seat passengers do get pretty much 2 cup holders right up top. Nice grab handle, some soft rubber material, and then more storage space. And then if I lift this back up, you can see the nice black leather material. You got this two-tone stitching and a nice fabric design. The Rock Creek definitely has a rugged look inside and out. We get armrests that fold down, and the center console is removable, but there's a ton of space in here. You just pull this panel off and there's one handle, and this whole thing will come out to give you even better access into the third row. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just press the buttons and get this out of the way. And from here, you can easily enter the third row. So let's go ahead and hop into here first. It's a pretty good third row vehicle for not being the biggest SUV in the world. So I like how they've done it. It's pretty useful. But then we can recline the seats as well. We have a handle back here, and that gets nicely out of the way. And then if I just pull this seat back to where it is, I am at 5'11" and I still have room. So I'm actually comfortably sitting back here, reclined nicely. You know, you get some armrests as well as cup holders and an air vent up top, which is a cool touch. And of course, if this was removed, you have a little bit extra legroom for that 7th passenger. From there, we can just get that seat nicely out of the way. And then if I just climb out, which isn't too bad, I can put this back into position and then hop into the 2nd row seats. So back here, you get all sorts of amenities as well as creature comforts. You can easily recline the seat, and of course use that armrest. And then you even have a bar in between your legs where you can slide this forwards and back. But we do get all of your climate controls in the center, 2 USB ports, nice amount of storage, and plenty of leg room, arm room, headroom. I mean, this is genuinely a really roomy 3rd row without being a ginormous SUV. But we do get more air vents up top, as well as grab handles. So it is definitely a nice place to be back here for sure. So now let's move on to the driver's seat. The person buying this car, let's see what they get to enjoy. So in here, you get some cool leather material along the door panel with orange stitching, good armrests, grab handle, mirror and window controls and everything, and then a lot of storage down below. And then we do get power controls for the driver's seat. And then you can see more of that black leather material with that same contrast stitching, same design, everything you just saw in back. But we do have the addition of that Rock Creek, which is really nice. So cool with all the orange accents, full black leather steering wheel with a little bit of chrome trim, as well as black accents. And then I love how you get a ton of storage in that center console, which is really, really cool. So hopping in now, at the gauge cluster, you can see the analog tack on the left with your speedometer on the right. And then if I scroll up and down, you can see a few different things in this first screen. Continuing over, we have all the different settings in the car. And then continuing over there, you can see a few more for some safety information. And then just continuing left and right with all sorts of trip and fuel information. We have cruise control settings over on the right side, and then a few more Bluetooth and audio controls. And then you do get paddle shifters for the 9-speed. So it's a pretty nice touch. Stock on the right side for all the windshield wipers, and then of course turn signal and all of your headlight controls. You do get automatic high beams, steering intervention button, as well as the interior dimming, more of that vinyl material and an air vent, and then even more of it on the passenger. This is a really huge area. You can fit like 3 cell phones or a bunch of snacks, so really roomy. And of course a good sized glove box. This screen, a little basic. There's no navigation built into this particular spec, but as you can see, you got some pretty good information for basically all of your audio systems. Just a few more shortcuts, volume on the left, tuning on the right. And then if I go ahead and put it into reverse, that automatically pops up your top down as well as the backup camera, and parking sensors are going to come up right in the center. And then my favorite thing is with the drive modes in this vehicle, which is down here, you have like 7 modes for all the off-road settings, but you have some towing, sport, eco, and normal, and then all the different off-road settings. And it's cool when you're in any of them, you can see it automatically pops up with a front view camera and one showing the right wheel. So I love to see that. We have your downhill assist is right there. And then underneath that, we have hazards as well as some air vents, and then all the climate controls, very simple, pretty much exactly what you would expect. Dual zone, heated seats. Then we have a lot of space down here for storage, USBs, as well as a 12 volt. And then back to our shifter, you have 2 large cup holders, more storage space, which is a good spot. You could even put a cell phone and kind of use that as your navigation screen. And then we have the auto start stop feature, auto hold, as well as the park and brake, and just a nice overall interior. We do have a sunglass holder up top, as well as dome lights, and then the mirror. And then if we just put these down, of course we have the sun visor and everything, and it even slides back. So they're pretty practical. I think Nissan did a good job just laying everything out. But with that said, let's go ahead and take this for a spin. All right, guys, so we are gonna start our test drive off-road. We are in the off-road mode, hitting a lot of mud, quite honestly. So, just getting through some stumps and things, looking at the cameras. So really nice to see all that sort of technology. I will say off-road, just hitting this trail, this drives so incredibly smooth. Like, it literally doesn't feel like I'm on anything. So it's definitely tuned very well to be able to drive over trails like this. Obviously this isn't a crazy like rock crawler, but just doing stuff like this, no issues whatsoever. Really comfortable. Steering's nice and easy, and especially when you get to that slow speed, having these cameras and everything, parking sensors, it's really easy to get a good view of everything as I clear the stump and just slowly walk up this hill. So off-road capabilities definitely pretty good for generic off-roading. So I think they did a good job, and this thing's gonna be so filthy when I'm done with it. But yeah, definitely nice and solid, and I think that's one thing that I've been very impressed with Nissan in their newest generation is how solid their SUVs feel. Pathfinder especially just feels so built well. I mean, there's nothing like, it doesn't feel cheap on this at all. And there's quite a few bumps I'm hitting, and it just does everything so smooth. I really, really like just how smooth this SUV feels. From there, let's go just to the auto mode, normal. I'm sure we're gonna hear quite a lot of mud kicking up. Oh yeah, you definitely, yeah, probably got a little muddy on this. So getting up to speed, popping it on some cruise control now, just driving normal. Now that the mud has cleared, it's a pretty smooth SUV to drive on the road. It really is a pretty well-built SUV. I think Nissan just did a great job giving you something that's, you can tell there's quality in this. I mean, like I said, hitting those bumps, it just felt nice. And then now that we're on the road, once again, it's a smooth driving experience. So going about 55 miles an hour, the tires make a little bit of noise. They're definitely a more aggressive setup than I would have thought this would come with. However, that means when I was in those deep mud puddles, it made it to where obviously we had traction. So you can hear them a little bit going 55, not crazy annoying or anything, but you know they're there. As far as wind noise though, I mean, pretty quiet. I was expecting the roof rack to make noise, but I don't hear anything up there on the roof of the car at all. And honestly, you get used to the tires, so I really wouldn't say that's a crazy negative. It's just something you're gonna notice. Now, on-road capability with the off-road suspension, there's a little bit of body roll and a body sway. This is about an inch taller than the standard one. Now, I've had a Platinum for a week and tested that out. That is definitely a very good on-road vehicle. So you can tell there are off-road capabilities on this that make it to where there's a little bit of hindrance on the street. Again, not a crazy amount. This still drives way nicer than a Toyota 4Runner, if that at least can put it into perspective. But on-road is nice. Steering feel is really good. Great visibility all around. And I love how in that third row, how you can put those seats down and fold the headrest out of the way. Because right now they're kind of in the way. But of course, if I were to fold them down, even better visibility. So definitely good for just normal driving. Seats are really comfortable. Nissan just does something with their seats. I'm not sure if these are the zero gravity seats, but they're just so comfortable. There's a lot of padding. I'm about to take this on a 1,600 mile trip, so I am obviously gonna put some good butt time in these seats, but even just normal driving, it is really comfortable and just a great place to be. The tech is usable. It's nothing too fancy, not having navigation and not getting the full screen on this particular spec, but it gives you what you want, at least with the Bluetooth and things like that. And even on some twisties, you know, it's a confident SUV. It's something you can enjoy driving on the street all the time, get pretty decent gas mileage and pretty good range, and fit the whole family. It's really, really usable. There's a ton of space in it. So it really is a pretty solid driving SUV, and I just like how it's so refined. It really feels like a big step up. Nissan's doing a great job bumping it up, and the new Pathfinder certainly is there, and with the off-road capabilities in this particular spec, that is a great touch to make this one a really cool option.